Okay, so we are continuing. I just noticed there's a Zoltan is here, okay, but Shani, I want to talk with Shani.
Geralt, you managed to get out of prison.
I did, though it wasn't easy.
I've heard about your deeds.
I see you're working at the hospital.
I'm fighting the plague. No time for chit-chat.
When can we talk?
I've a room in the northern end of town. Stop by after work.
Okay.
Quickly, I need to get back to work.
How can I help?
Your skills are no good here.
Shani, I do other things besides kill.
We don't have a cure for the plague yet.
Yes, like sex.
Did you know Rusty?
Don't recall.
Before the plague took him, he discovered certain plant extracts retarded the disease's progress.
You need those plants?
Yes, the best one's celandine. Unfortunately, it's only found on swampy ground.
Wait, we already have Salamandra.
Every blossom counts. Bring at least 5 sprouts.
Here's the celandine.
Excellent. I'm really grateful.
I'd prefer... I think we can read that in a book, so let's just, you know...
It was nothing.
If you need anything, let me know.
She'll always have favor. Wink, wink.
Where are you staying?
I have a room in the northeastern end of Vizima.
Easy to find?
Opposite the house, there's a small square with a sculpture of a snake. Quickly, I need to get back to work.
I need to talk to you.
Can it wait?
Well, I suppose.
Visit me at home. The hospital's no place for personal matters.
Okay, go to your work.
Come back later.
This lady told me to get out of her garden, so I peed on her flowers to make them grow pretty.
How do we assimilate with them if they don't assimilate with us?
Okay, so let's start with these merchants here.
Herbs, ointments, flowers for the ladies.
Greetings.
You look pale. I have medications for an instant cure. My prices are reasonable.
Where do you gather your herbs?
If I told, I'd be reduced to beggary and never have a new shawl. Choose what you want and no mischief.
Okay, so we can give her some gift. I don't know what that gift is. So I want to buy some basic flowers, subterranean plants. Yeah, let's get that. We need that. White roses, yellow roses, red roses. Okay, I think we need the roses. Which are the cheapest flowers? Tulips? Really? Okay, I'm just quite certain that this one sells also flowers.
Trinkets, baubles, anything you need.
What are you selling?
Jewelry, ladies' apparel, precious stones.
What use are your goods?
If you need no jewelry yourself, what of others? They're excellent gifts and worth 3 times the gold.
Really? I hope that when I sell you some, that you're gonna also take that into consideration.
Ointments, herbs and spices.
Yes, he has some cheaper flowers. Okay, daisies. Let's buy 2 of those. Okay. Okay, the rings are pretty expensive. We don't need them now. I think this peasant trader is just.
You need anything?
Where did you get milk?
Just the food
There's
trader.
a quarantine. I've seen no cows.
I lived in the country and I have my ways.
Jewelry, gifts,
Well, you know,
trinkets and
I won't have been drinking that milk. Sounds suspicious. Potion base, high quality potion base. Should I be creating no potions? No, not yet. I think it's not necessary. Okay, I need to talk with the bookseller, the antiquary. Okay,
What do you want?
Wise dwarves are rare.
I rarely see witchers, but still don't stare. Want to see my stock?
that means probably that we're ugly, you know, but yeah, but the dwarves are fun, you know. Okay, so we need to buy a lot of books. We're gonna spend a lot of money here. Let's see, what do we have? In this one, sure. This one, sure. We read those. Read that. Okay. I must not buy subterranean plants. I think he has also them. These books can burn a lot of money fast. We're gonna get all the journal entries, so I would say it's worth it. Okay. For a moment I thought I bought subterranean plants. Where are they? Oh, they're not here? Great, great. Okay. Oh, he doesn't sell them at all. Well, that's okay then. Oh man, these ones are expensive. Just like that, we spent almost 5,000 gold. Just let me check, did I buy everything? Because once I read them, I will sell them back. So we'll get some of the money back. Okay, we did. Okay, we're gonna read them soon. Let's just loot some houses. Locked. Okay. Here. Yeah, let's loot this. Again, I got the dagger. I'm not quite sure for what these side weapons are useful. I never even tried to use them, so... maybe I should just do it just for fun, if I remember. Oh, I have again the side weapons. Let's just go and sell them. I'm gonna go in and loot that house. We can sell that, I think, with the dwarf blacksmith. He has like an apprentice. Not here.
Fuck!
He's here? Great.
Greetings, sir.
You the smith's apprentice?
Indeed, I run the shop, keep things tidy. What do you need?
Show me your wares.
Mr. Chive says you're right and honorable, so I see no reason not to trade. Here you are.
Okay, sell the sword. He also sells the jacket for 5,000. Well, obviously, because the order merchant doesn't want to talk with us anymore. And I checked why.
Human come to see a non-human. You need something.
I'm not entirely human, and yes, you might have something I need.
MarkoMustPlay. Not a better blacksmith in all of Vizima.
Well, the order merchant won't sell us because we cleared Vivaldi of his of suspicion. So they are kind of a racist, I guess.
Nice workshop. You must be proud. But where's your equipment?
They took it! Those sons of bitches! Now I must rent if I want to work.
Thieves?
No, worse. Damn city officials. Slap me with taxes on running a non-human business. Trading in non-human goods. How the hell do they imagine I'll forge things for humans? I'm a bleeding dwarf. Strange coincidence, too. That character connected with the Order recently acquired new Mahakaman anvils, strangely similar to my own.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's bullshit. I guess they should just move out of the human cities, but again, that would be even worse, probably, because the judgment would still linger, you know. Even worse, because nobody can, no, they won't live with them, so they, and some decent people won't be able to see, you know, that they're okay.
Will you sell me your wares?
Zoltan praised you, so we can trade. If you care to buy something, see my apprentice. I do the forging and handle special orders.
Okay.
Farewell.
So yes, moving would be a, well, maybe a short-term better option, but long-term the racism would should just mount, because you know, the racism is actually, in my opinion, the hate of the unknown, right, or the fear of the unknown. Well, you know, behind the hate of someone's race, in my opinion.
Elves and dwarves living together. Blood spread filled like pigs.
Okay, let's just...
business slows on rainy days.
oh, well, I'll do that later. To get a card, we can get a card from the lady.
My foot wrappings are wet.
Okay, so we need to read them first. So we're gonna read some books now. So let's see. Okay, we have a journal first. Old friend of mine. I got settled in for Shani. I'm in her good books now. I need to talk to her more often. Maybe she'll ask me for another favor. For now, I think she owes me one. Mysterious Tower, that's the Kalkstein's quest. The Dwarven antiquarian hinted at where I might find the books I need. Golan Vivaldi owns the secret gates, and he might also have a copy of Ans of Our. Ah, okay, so I should talk with Vivaldi. I forgot about that. I could have done it while I was near his house, but anyways. So let's change to inventory, so we deal with these books. Okay, let's start. The Tome of Fear and Loathing, Volume 2. Second volume of a work on necrophages. It provides information about Al-Ghuls, Scimitars, and Devourers. Tome provides for Al-Ghuls, Scimitars, and Devourers. It discusses methods on fighting the monsters and alchemical ingredients that can be obtained from them. Curses and the Cursed, a treatise dedicated to curses and creatures born of curses, strigas, werewolves, echinopsiae, and archospores. Something like that. It also discusses cases of lycanthropy and striga spells. So spells are spells same as the curses? Maybe it's a mistranslation. I think spells and curses are different things. Okay. Ornithosaurs. A bestiary dedicated to ornithosaurs. Provides information on the wyvern, the basilisk, and the cockatrice. Books contain information of female and male wyverns, as well as on cockatrices and basilisks. Okay. Swamp plants. The book describes plants that grow in swamps. It's valuable research for those who wish to recognize these plants and obtain alchemical ingredients from them. The book describes celandine, beggartick, and fool's parsley, as well as methods of obtaining alchemical ingredients from these plants. Ritual plants. A herbarium dedicated to ritual plants, providing knowledge required to recognize them and obtain alchemical ingredients from them. The book allows one to recognize allspice root, ergot seeds, wolfsbane, mandrake, and hops, and mistletoe. It also describes the methods for obtaining alchemical substances from them. Small Book of Minerals. The book provides data on the substances found in basic minerals, which can be purchased from alchemists. The book describes basic mineral ingredients used in alchemy, including sulfur, Gnat's acid, whinstone, Nazian salts, calcium aquum, and phosphorus. It also discusses the alchemical substances found in these minerals. Phenowate. The book provides information required to recognize phenowate and obtain alchemical ingredients from them. Zerikanian alchemy describes the accomplishments of Zerikanian alchemists. It also contains the formulae for the bomb known as King and Queen and for the Crinfrid oil. King and Queen, upon detonation, the bomb magically evokes fear in opponents. Crinfrid oil, wounded opponents feel acute pain. Dragon's Dream contains the formula for a bomb called Dragon's Dream. Scroll contains the formula for a bomb. Yeah, obviously. Upon detonation, the bomb releases a cloud of explosive gas. Forensic Medicine, a treatise on the application of medical knowledge in criminal investigations. Forensic Medicine, Milo Vanderbeck. Before beginning an autopsy, we must gather as much information as possible to help us interpret any marks we discover on the body. It is good to know who the victim was and in what setting the corpse was found. So the basics first. Witnesses should be questioned and expert consulted. A well-conducted autopsy gives almost as much information as talking to the victim. We can learn when that occurred, its circumstances, and what happened to the body afterwards. We may also learn about the murderer, any objects using the murder, and the manner of their use. A corpse cut with a scalpel is like an open book. Whoever examines the details and carefully tests every hypothesis will understand it. Okay? The Road of No Return provides information on the Kashya. The book provides information on magically created monster known as the Kashya. Something like a Frightener. Frightener is also magically created. Animating the Inanimate, a scientific treatise on magical ways of building a golem. The book contains useful information about golems. Zerikanian insects and other vermin. The book describes the exotic insects of Zerikania and other abominations seen by the author of his travels. Zerikanian insects and other vermin. MarkoMustPlay. Zerikania, home of the venomous basilisks, has given birth to other equally hideous creatures. Among them are spotted spiders so huge that they trap elephants in their webs, and no less terrifying, tsetse flies. The flies are especially repulsive, laying their eggs in the human body, the resulting larvae maturing within the host's head. The victim's brain serves as sustenance. Oh man. And when the larvae turn into adult flies, they leave the body, all through the eye sockets. That's terrible. I wonder if the real tsetse flies, I think they exist, if I'm not mistaken, really do something like that. So they live through the eye sockets, now void of the previously devoured eyes. These and other vermin are born in the far land of Zerikania. Thank the gods that similar filth has not infested the northern kingdoms. Well, yeah. Okay, we are now here. Cults and Religions of the Nordlings. A treatise of the religion of the northern kingdoms, written by an Nilfgaardian. Well, I would say there will be a prejudice here. Stefan Keller wrote that. Among the numerous faiths of the Nordlings, the most widespread is the cult of Melitele, a goddess in three forms: young girl, mature woman, and old hag. Melitele is a mother goddess, caring for her children. Primarily women pray to her, though men in need might also utter supplications. The religion is a vestige of the old matriarchy and testifies to the weakness of the Nordlings. People who worship female deities are soft-hearted and incapable of preparing their sons for war. Yeah, it's debatable. In recent years, the cult of Melitele has found a rival in the cult of Eternal Fire, which came out of Novigrad. Clerics of the Eternal Fire demonstrate fanaticism, and almost complete devotion. The religion is hostile toward any form of otherness, including non-humans. The Order of the Flaming Rose is the cult's militant arm. The treatise also examines other faiths, including the cult of a lion-head spider. Okay, so yeah, it's true about the Eternal Fire. It is fanatics, and they only um, think about humans. Other races that are not concern them. Actually, they are considered beneath them. So, but the cult of Melitele is interesting. Okay, primarily women that pray to her. Well, for obvious reasons, yes. But this is the interesting to me. The goddess is in three forms: young girl, mature woman, and old hag. Well, they're like stages of woman's life, I would also say, so it is what represents. I would say young girl, like young, um, promiscuous, and choosing partners, and not promiscuous in bad way, mature woman, finding a man, and having starting a family uh, with him and raising children. And old hag, when children leave, they're just here for the wisdom of life, for sharing their wisdom of life. That is my opinion. Just, I'm not a scholar, just saying. Okay, so anything else? Transmutations and metamorphosis. An intricate alchemical treatise presenting a theory concerning the animation of the inanimate matter. About the cult of Melitele, I would say that it reminds me actually of the Mass Effect Asaris, as they also have like 3 stages in their life, which is, I think, I know last is, oh, I need to play Mass Effect now. Yes, the Legendary Edition is coming. I know the Asari Matriarch is the last one, and they have also like Middle Asari and Young Asari. I cannot remember their names, but we'll probably get to that some point in time. Okay, let's start with this book. Metamorphosis and Transformations by Adalbertus Aloysius Kalkstein. I mean, with that name, you just need to be Scholar Kalkstein. I mean, you couldn't be I don't know, a knight or something. To follow the example of the sorcerer from the tower, we first need to classify substances, dividing them into superior and inferior varieties. Only the former can be described by the theory of interdependence presented here. Inferior substances do not produce a chain of quasi-life structures. For their nature is substandard in quality and they cannot exist independently. Oh, so they're dependent on the superior substances. I think the albedo, rubido, and nigrido are dependent on those, what are vermilion, quebrit, hydrogenum, and vitriol. Oh, these ones that are here. Okay. However, it has been proven that they are paradoxically essential for the chain to exist in spite of their inferiority. I would say probably because they when we brew potions, produce different results. So they are essential for mutations, for a little bit chaos in the order, if I might say it like that. They are responsible for evolution, probably, of potions, let's say it like that. The hypothesis of interdependence assumes that the chain of quasi-life must contain one substance of each superior element. Proposed by Ruffer the White, has one too few places for them, namely only 5. Okay, wait, what? Nonetheless, the chain structure proposed by the Ruffer the White has one too few places for them, namely only 5. The chain were transported and then transmuted, the problem would be easily solved. Alas, the first operation cannot be performed without damage to the chain's integrity. The only solution is to use so-called reverse transmutation, which will eventually cause the chain to rotate. As a result of rotation, all 6 superior substances will constantly leave and join the chain without destroying it. Man, the Kalkstein is... I lost him. From the holistic point of view, there will always be 6 superior substances occupying 5 places. So there's one substance too much, right? Wait, but I do have 7 of them. The ingenuity of this solution lies in the chain having all the qualities of the 3 inferior substances. Thus, the paradox of interdependence, or as some say, coexistence, is no longer a problem. Unfortunately, since none of the modern works describe how to perform reverse transmutation, the problem of animating the inanimate remains unresolved. But do they do that with golems? The golems are... Okay, I need to read this a few more times, maybe later to understand it. Okay, where are we now? The story of Lara Dorren and Cregan of Lod. A human version of Lara and Cregan's legend, provide information on elves and elder blood. Okay, this is told by humans. The queen said, "Don't plead for mercy, but beg those whom you harmed with your sorcery. You had the courage to commit evil deeds. Be brave now, when justice is near. It is not in my power to pardon your sins." The witch sniggered like a cat in response. Her wicked eyes glimmered. "My doom is near," she shouted, "but yours is not far either, my queen. At the hour of your terrible death you will remember Lara Dorren and her curse, and know that the curse will touch all your descendants over the next 10 generations." Yet, realizing that the queen was fearless at heart, the evil elven witch stopped swearing and threatening with curses, and began whining like a bitch. Oh man, begging for mercy and help. I would say that this is propaganda and not to be taken seriously, but again, you can learn a lot of things from this about human mentality, of course, and dispositions. Okay, The Conjunction of Spheres by Adam Neville. The cataclysm commonly known as the Conjunction of the Spheres happened 1.5 millennia ago. A cosmic collision of several parallel universes. The disaster left numerous creatures not native to our reality trapped here. For example, ghouls and graveers, which lack their own ecological niches, are simply relics of the conjunction. The elves claim that humans also arrived in this world during the conjunction. This occurred soon after they managed to destroy their own world. The elves also claim that it was during the conjunction that humans learned to use magic. Wait, hey, but if we came during the conjunction and during conjunction we also learned to use magic, how do you know that we did not know magic before the conjunction? Of course, these are all vile lies and foul fabrications circulated by non-humans, who will resort to the most malicious slander to justify their claims. Well, humans will do it also, like we read just in a book before this. Okay? We have fairy tales and stories, a collection of folk tales describing monsters, sorcerers, and witchers from a simple man's point of view. Fairy Tales and Stories by Florence Delanoy. Then the fairy said to the Witcher, I will tell you what to do. Put on a pair of iron shoes, pick up an iron staff, walk in the iron shoes to the end of the world. Pat the ground before you with the staff, and sprinkle it with tears. Walk through fire and water, do not stop, do not look back, and when your shoes wear out, and the iron staff shatters, when the wind and the heat dry your eyes so that you cannot shed another tear, then you will have reached the world's end. You will have found what you seek, what you love. Perhaps. And vague. And so the Witcher walked through fire and water without looking back, but he took neither the iron shoes nor the iron staff. He took only his witch's sword. He did not heed the words of the fairy, and that is a good thing, because she was an evil fairy. But that it doesn't necessarily says, well, it doesn't, if she was evil, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not speaking the truth. I would say the iron shoes are kind of metaphor, so you do not walk without any shoes, because barefoot, because you will the long voyage will damage your foot. It will be so long that you need some kind of protection, because you will walk for so long. And the iron staff probably is like a metaphor for sword also. And you will sprinkle the ground with tears because your friends will die. Walk through fire and water, do not stop, because there will be a lot of battles that you will fight. Do not look back, because if you look back, you will start to question yourself. Okay, when the wind and the heat dry your eyes, that you can shed another tear, because you will be somewhat indifferent, but you will be stronger because you have seen a lot and you know what to expect. Then you will reach the world's end. You will have found what you seek, what you love. Perhaps, or perhaps not. I think it's a good advice, even if it is an evil fairy. That's the point. If somebody is evil or good or anything, it doesn't mean that they can't sometimes speak the truth. I mean, truth is not how I say, tied to only good people. I mean, evil people can also speak truth, but they more often lie and deceive. So anyway, anything else? What we have? I think we have subterranean plants. A herbarium dedicated to plants that grow underground. Man, I did buy two. Oh man. Now I notice it. The book describes sewans and green mold, as well as the methods of obtaining alchemical ingredients from these plants. So I spend, money unnecessary. Well, that's what happens when I don't pay attention. Okay, so let's now switch to the journal. I think we have a lot of fun time reading. Okay, we are on the ingredients. Green mold grows on walls in damp and dark places. Algul marrow, all obtained from Algul. Allspice root, root of a magical plant grown by druids. Okay. Archaeospore juice obtained from archaeospore carcasses. Beggartic blossom. The blossom is poisonous and hallucinogenic swamp plant. So we'll obtain that in swamps, obviously. Scimitar jaw obtained from scimitars. Devourer teeth obtained from devourers. Echinops rootstock from echinops. Ergot seeds. This is seeds of common weed. Okay. Fainawed, a flower which grows only in places marked by elder blood. Now this is a lower intensive flower. I think Siri wore that once. Whose parsley leaves, the fleshy leaves of a swamp plant. Golem's obsidian heart, the stone which drives the golem from within. Han, a poisonous field plant. Hop umbels. Umbels of plant, also used in brewing. Koshev's heart, the heart of the frightful Koshev. Mandrake root, the root of a poisonous plant with magical properties. Mistletoe, the holy plant of the druids. Nazian salts obtained from the carcasses of Alps and Bruxae. Phosphorus, a highly flammable chemical substance. Probably used for bombs, yes? Spores, obtained from echinops and archaeospore carcasses. Striga heart, the heart removed from Striga carcasses. Sulfur, a yellow alchemical substance. Venom glands, obtained from the carcass of giant centipedes, wyverns, basilisks, and Kikimor warriors. Werewolf fur torn from werewolf's body. Winestone, a substance made from wine by witches. Wing membrane, obtained from the garcanes, wyverns, and fladders. Okay, so from vampires also, I see. Wolf's bane, a druid's herb. Okay, I think that are they all in ingredients? Yep. Let's see the quests. Are they any updated? No. Okay, let's go to formula. Dragon's Dream. This bomb releases a cloud of flammable gas, which causes a destructive explosion when ignited. Preparation. A Dragon's Dream bomb is made by mixing ingredients, providing 1 measure each of rebis, quebrit, and vermilion, and 2 measures of hydrogen. Top quality black powder must be used as a base. Duration of effects varies depending on opponent's attributes. The Zerikanians worship dragons, so it is no surprise this mixture, which releases a cloud of flammable gas, is named after fearsome beasts. Whosoever detonates a dragon's dream is sure to conjure the spirit of the creature itself. King and Queen. Upon detonation, this bomb magically evokes fear in the hearts of opponents. I would say this is great against a bunch of humans, as we are all more often surrounded. Preparation. A king and queen bomb is made by mixing ingredients, providing 2 measures of rebis and 1 measure of aether. High quality powder must be used as a base. Duration of effects varies depending on the opponent's attributes. Zerikanian wizards have mastered the dangerous art of crafting explosives. King and Queen is an example of their handiwork. Such a simple looking item, and yet it is enough to send enemies scrambling, panic in their eyes. Okay, we're done with the formula. Characters. Kalkstein. Kalkstein is the author of many alchemical works, including treatises analyzing attempts to animate inanimate matter, an activity known otherwise as constructing a golem. Apparently, the alchemist has been interested in this matter for years. Kalkstein's convoluted style makes his work difficult to read. Yeah, that's true. I kinda lost him. Well, I'm not a specialist in alchemy. Well, I am a bartender, so I'm sort of an alchemist. Azar Javed. My adversary is a renegade mage. This means that for some reason he was expelled from the wizard circle in the past. Renegade mages perform the witcher's mutations. Oh, the mages who helped witchers with the trial of the graces were the renegade mages. Probably because there was a low expectancy of survival during that trial. It was not looked positively by the schools, or favored. It was not favored by the schools that practice. Shani. Shani works at St. Libioda's hospital during the day and spends evenings at her lodgings in the temple quarter. She hates it when people disturb her at work, so it's best to visit her later in the day. Okay, let's see locations. Zerikania. Let's see the map. The map is okay. It is not. It is past the mountains. What are that? Fiery mountains. Okay. It is Zerikania is located, if I'm not mistaken, east in the Northern Kingdoms and in Nilfgaardian maps. Zerikania is a mysterious land located in the far south. You know, it's far south, yeah. I don't think it's south. I think it's southeast to. Well, south from the Northern Kingdoms, okay, but east from the Nilfgaard, if I'm not mistaken. The Northern Kingdoms have very little to do with that realm. Not a lot is known about Zerikania. Its climate is hot, exotic animals roam the lands, and the inhabitants worship dragons. Furthermore, Zerikania is famous for its alchemists, who specialize in pyrotechnics, and for its tattooed warrior women, who are skilled in the use of sabers. We have in Witcher lore, there's two Zerikanian warriors who were like personal bodyguards of a golden dragon. I don't remember his name. It's like Wintermeyer, there's something like that. It is very too much letters for me to remember. But I know he was a golden dragon, and Geralt was actually acquainted with him. Non-human district. A separate area had been designed for elves and dwarves in Vizima's temple quarter. Members of these races live and work there. Those who venture into the non-human district do at their own risk. Do so at their own risk. Mutual hate is there. Let's see any tutorials that I need to check. Okay, now let's go to glossary. Mages. Simple folk fail to differentiate between witches, sorcerers, and witchers. Anyone who wields magic is regarded as suspicious and godless, but the better educated and those who dwell in large cities know to treat mages with due respect. But not the witchers, yeah? Okay, let's start with the conjunction of the spears. A cataclysm which occurred 1500 years ago, trapping in our dimension many unnatural creatures, including ghouls, graveers, and vampires. These beasts have no ecological niches of their own and are merely relics of bygone times. Probably ecological niches mean that they don't have common ancestors. According to elven lore, humans arrived during the conjunction, their own world having been destroyed. These human ancestors learned how to harness the power of primordial chaos, and thus the first human wizards were born. Looking for a place in the world, humans took up arms against the elder races, who were unable to withstand the barbarians and ultimately surrendered. This is how humans came to rule the world. It somehow reminds me of the fall of the Western Roman Empire, migration of the people, and that. The cult of Melitele. Among the numerous faiths of Nordlings, the most widespread is the cult of Melitele, the goddess in three forms: young girl, woman, and crone. Melitele is the mother goddess, extending her care over her children, Her following is not solely composed of women. Men pray to her as well. Clerics of Melitele preach love and peace. They run many hospitals, shelters, and orphanages. Okay, Cult of Lionhead Spider. Coram Acter, called the Lionhead Spider, is a cruel deity who expects bloody sacrifices from his worshippers. The cult of a lionhead spider is banned, and there are but a few places in the world where its adherents can openly declare their faith. Temeria strives to eradicate belief in the lionhead spider, and the cultists are tried as murderers. Okay, we can, I think, found their cult into the sewers. Okay, the elves have another journal entry. Okay, where did we live? I think we have this last two. Just let me check. No, I think we read that one. Well, let's read it. The elves tell the story of Lara Doran and Cregan of Lod, an elven sorceress and human wizard, the legendary lovers who formed the first union between the two races. Elves claim this relationship proved that peaceful coexistence between the races was possible, at least until humans treacherously killed the wizard and banished Lara. Thus, according to the elves, human hostility, possessiveness, and aggression were first demonstrated. These barbarian qualities make coexistence with humans impossible, and so the lovers' tragic end triggered a war that continues to this day. Elves don't discuss their fate in the presence of humans, because they think the barbarians would be unable to grasp its philosophical and mystical subtleties. Most humans, on the other hand, don't care about elven beliefs. It is a fact that some elves believe in Dana Mad, the mother goddess, who seems to be an embodiment of the goddess Melitele. So, this just proves that the hate, the hate that these races feel for each other is just unvalid because they have a lot of similarities. It's just the point of the perspective, some would say. Humans have their own version of the legend of Lara Doran and Cregan of Lod, which differs greatly from that of the elves. An elf and a human came together just after the conjunction of the spheres and the rise of the human race. The legendary lovers became a symbol of peaceful coexistence of the two races, until some elves, jealous of Lara's attentions, treacherously killed the barbarian who had dared to get involved with their kingswoman. In the human version, Lara is portrayed as a witch. Cregan's death resulted in much treachery and scheming, and thus the hostility which exists today between the races is the elves' fault. So both races blames each other for the start of the war. Hmm. Who knows what is the truth? I don't know what is the truth, but it just doesn't matter who started the first. It is the fault of the individuals, not the whole race. In my opinion, it's like you have an operation and you have an organ failure, and instead of fixing the organ that is the problem, they just kill you. Just remove the organ that is the failure. They just remove you, just like, well, who gives a damn, in my opinion. Okay, I know we read that because I remember Vicenna, the girl's mother. Autopsies are not universally approved of. Autopsies are not universally approved of in criminal investigations. However, experts acknowledge the value of forensically examining a corpse after witnesses have been questioned and experts consulted. An autopsy can provide valuable information on the identity of a victim and on the precise means by which a crime was committed. While performing an autopsy, you should ask detailed questions based on the knowledge you possess. By rejecting impossibilities one by one, you may ultimately find that the truth lies in the most unlikely of hypotheses. Well, unless all possible solutions become wrong, then you got to reconsider the impossibilities, right? Okay, where are we next? I think locations we did. Now the monsters. We have a lot of new entries here. Golem. A golem is a creature made of stone or wood, brought to life by a mage and animated with the use of magic. Its tough body is immune to sword blows and most effects. A golem can be stopped by its maker. Usually the giant is set in motion by a lightning bolt, so a major electric shock might incapacitate or even annihilate it. Tactics. A golem uses its superhuman strength to knock down, stun, and crush opponents. Golem's obsidian heart can be harvested from him. Once an absent-minded mage created a golem, animated it by casting Azur's thunder, and ordered his new servant to fetch water before burying himself in his scholarly books. The golem kept carrying water day and night, without pause, and ultimately flooded not only the mage's house, but the whole city. As you can see, my young students of the art, improper use of tools and lack of elementary training may cause a tragedy. Annabelle Redfin, lectures on security and hygiene in magic. Well, it's I don't know if that is the truth, but it is like a folk tale, exaggerated folk tale, just to be cautious of the, how to say, improper use of magic. Responsibility, probably a responsibility, a lesson. All ghouls appear in all necropolises and crypts. They are immune to common poison and resistant to knockdown attempts. They are sensitive to silver. The strong style is most efficient against all ghouls. Experienced witcher use the group style while fighting multiple ghouls. All ghouls try to knock down victims and eat them alive. Cadaverine can be harvested, white vinegar, and algal marrow. All ghouls are ghouls which had been devouring corpses for so many years that human flesh becomes irresistible and they begin to prey on the living. They are seen in crypts and on battlefields, frequently surrounded by ghouls. Simple folk do not notice the difference between these two types of scavengers, unlike witchers who know that the Algul is a more aggressive and challenging opponent. Archospore. Archospores grow in places where particularly cruel crimes have been committed, or on the tombs of the victims of such crimes. They are immune to all mind effects, fear, stun, and axis sign. They feel no pain and cannot be poisoned, blinded, knocked down, or bled to death. Susceptibility. Archospores are sensitive to silver and very susceptible to incarnation attempts. Archospores shoot poison thorns. Archospore juices and spores can be obtained from them. Some crimes are so terrible that they fill people with terror and offend the gods. The criminal's ill will and the cruelty of his deed conceive a curse that brings the Archospore to life. The beast attacks innocent creatures hatefully, trying to take vengeance until justice is done. Okay, let's move to basilisks, to ornithosaurs. Basilisks choose dark and damp places like caves and abandoned canal branches as their dwellings. They're immune to most poisons, resistant to stun attempts. They are sensitive to silver and ornithosaur oil. The basilisk's most dangerous weapon is its venom, one of the strongest known toxins. Alchemy venom glands. Simple people call the basilisk the king of the Ricanian deserts and often mistake it for a cockatrice. They claim that the beast is filled with such hatred towards all living things that even its breath is venomous and its glance turns the unwary to stone. In fairy tales, the only certain way to kill basilisk is by holding a mirror in front of its eyes to divert its deadly gaze. Witches reply that it is far better to smash the mirror on the creature's head. Yeah, that's true. Was it in the cockatrice? Actually, where's the cockatrice? Yeah, that's right. That's I think I said that it's a more like a folk exaggerated tale. I would say that fear is actually that turns you to stone, but not literally, but it is because of a fear you just are unable to move. You're like paralyzed. That happens with humans that when they fear something, especially in little children, they just freeze themselves and can't move. So I would say the metaphor for that is that they are so hideous and fearful monsters that even if they look themselves into the mirror, they would be afraid of themselves. You know, their own appearance. Okay, let's move to Scimitar. Scimitars are rare. They're found on battlefields and cemeteries, just like other necrophages. They're immune to common poisons, resistant to knockdown and stun attempts. They are sensitive to silver and necrophage oil. Scimitars try to knock down their victims and eat them alive. Scimitar jaws, white vinegar, and abomination leaf can be obtained from them. Much has been written about the ghouls and graveers, since they are encountered by common people in times of war or in cemeteries. Scimitars are rare, but when they appear in necropolis, they take it over. All ghouls respect them and must bow to them. Okay, so they are like the most like the higher order of this of the ghoul type enemies. Devourer. Devourers are scavengers which live near human settlements, usually in caves and ruins. They are immune to conventional poison and resistant to knockdown attempts. They are sensitive to silver and necrophage oil. Devourers try to knock down their victims and eat them alive. Shadow dust, cadaverine, albar's crystal, and devourer teeth can be obtained from them. Devourers are often called night witches because they resemble old, ugly women and are famous for their witch-like viciousness. These creatures gorge themselves on human flesh. Although they willingly eat carcasses, above all they crave flesh that is fresh and warm. Devourers hunt after dark in groups that peasants refer to as sabbats. They like to deceive their victims and torture them, but there is no truth to the tales of their midnight flights on broomsticks and their gingerbread houses. Okay, so they're like female version of ghoul type enemies. Echinops. Echinopsi grow in places where crimes have been committed, or on the graves of the victims of such crimes. Oh, so that's what it was on Odo's brother grave. They're immune to effects which influence the mind, fear, stun, and axis sign. They feel no pain and can neither be poisoned, blinded, knocked down, nor bled to death. Echinopsi are sensitive to silver and highly susceptible to incarnation attempts. Incineration attempts. Not incarnation. Incarnation is when being in jail. Incineration is when you're put on fire. Marco, thank you. Echinopsi are rooted to the ground, but they shoot with poisoned thorns. Alchemy, Echinops, rootstock, and spores. Echinopsi are monstrous plants which grow in places where terrible crimes have been committed. The beasts try to take their vengeance on criminals, but they do not spare the lives of innocents who helplessly enter their territory. Oh man, this whole video will be just the journal checkup. Kasha. A mythical creature born of magic. Only a mighty mage who knows Alzor's work can summon a Kasha. They are resistant to most effects, susceptible to silver, This relentless killing machine has no need for tactics. Cautio of heart can be obtained from here. What, in your opinion, is the best way to describe a cautio? That. I'd call it that. So were cautios used in the Witcher Netflix series by that mage where Yennefer tried to save a child? I think that is the same monster. Royal Wyvern. Royal Wyvern. Royal Wyverns are larger and more aggressive than their common cousins. They live in the wilderness, often in the mountains, as they like to build their nests on precipices. They attack any creature entering their territory. They are resistant to stun attempts, immune to poison, and generally fearless. Okay, they are sensitive to silver or nectar oil. They dive at their opponents, try to knock them down and poison them with venom. They are more clever than common wyverns and thus harder to defeat. Alchemy toxin and wing membrane, venom glands. The female royal wyvern is smaller but more cunning and venomous than her male counterpart. She can be aggressive towards both males and other females. She is a perfect example of how gender relations among humans have their source in the animal world. This is altogether not surprising. Master Doregray. Against the institution of marriage. Oh man. I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay. I mean, I know it. I know it. Not anything against my wife, but just, women are not as strong as male, but they have more cunning and metaphorically venomous with gossips. I'm just saying that. Okay, Striga. A Striga is a woman transformed into a monster by a curse. She is filled with hatred towards all living beings, devouring them gladly. A Striga may tolerate necrophages. She needs a hideout during the day, often choosing a sarcophagus in a forgotten branch of a city. She is resistant to steel, sensitive to silver. A Striga may be freed from her curse by those who survive a night near her sarcophagus. A Striga is a very strong and agile creature, but not as resilient as she might seem. She attacks by surprise and tries to tear opponents to pieces, without giving them a chance to fight back. Near her sarcophagus, a Striga is always stronger. The sarcophagus is giving her strength. Alchemy Striga heart. Where does it come from? Spells? Magic? I have no idea, sire. The sages research these phenomena. For us witchers, it is enough to know that strong will may create them. We also like to know how to fight them. And kill them? Most frequently, yes. That is what we are usually paid for. Few want the spell lifted. People usually just want to be protected. If the monster has killed people, revenge may be another motive. I think that's the Geralt talking to Foltest, if I'm not mistaken, from the books. Werewolf. Werewolves are lycanthropes, which means they are shape changers. Humans transform into werewolves as a result of curses. The creatures lurk near human settlements. Immunity. They are resistant to steel and most effects. They are sensitive to silver. They attack with fury, furry, with fury and like to be on the offensive, confident of their resistance to conventional weapons. Alchemy, werewolf fur. Baron Wolfstein buried his face in his hands. His heart was throbbing. Suddenly the scent of his wife's blood and the blood of his children intensified. The Baron's body swelled as his muscles grew. His noble attire fell in tatters on the marble floor. My beloved, you're so hairy. You're a werewolf? Bianca went pale. What about our love? In reply, she heard a terrifying roar. Daniel Stoll, The Curse of Baron Wolfstein, and Other Love Stories. Okay, we have a wyvern for the last entry. The wyverns live in the wilderness or near human settlements. They are a natural element of an ecosystem. They are prized by druids who tame them. Oh, so the wyverns are not monsters. They have their ecological niche. Okay, got it. Immunity. Resistant to stun and poison attempts. They are sensitive to silver and ornithosaur oil. They dive at their opponents, try to knock them down and poison them with venom. Toxin and wing membrane. Venom glands can be obtained from them. Wyverns are unlikely to be frequently mistaken for dragons. Seeing a reptile approaching a flock of sheep, peasants panic. They expect it to breathe fire, massacre everyone, and abduct the local virgins. While it is true that wyverns hunt sheep, they neither breathe fire nor lay waste to whole villages, and they are completely indifferent to virgins. Yeah, they kill them like any other. Okay, I think that's it for the journal check. Wow, that was a long one. So this episode will mostly be just journal checkup. So we can actually just end it right here. But let's see what will we do next. A tower, bearing a secret. Okay, I'll probably go speak with Taller then. Did I sell the books? No, I did sell the books. Okay, let's sell the books so we can start with the next episode. We'll probably go and speak with Taller and obtain some, romance cards in it. Oh, it will be kind of a relaxation after the reading. Well, come on, we all need it.
What?
From time to time. Let's sell this. Okay, well, at least we got almost 2000 gold, so it's not that bad. And we read everything that is of interest. Okay. Okay, we'll end it here because the dollar is in that direction where Zoltan is coming from. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.